Imagine being told for 2 straight years that you don't belong. Not on this track, not against these drivers, not in this format. You win everywhere else, but the moment you roll onto an oval, the critics pull out the same script. Road course specialist, can't manage tire degradation, stuck in one lane, no oval pedigree. That was the story written around Shane Van Gisbergen, and for a while the numbers backed it up. 25th at Nashville, 18th at Michigan, 31st at Pocono in 2025, his only oval top off 10 to 2026, a single P10 at Kansas. The critics weren't shouting into the void, they had evidence. But then came Charlotte Motor Speedway, 600 miles. NASCAR's crown jewel race, the format designed to expose every weakness. And instead of being exposed, SVG rewrote the entire conversation in one night. The Coca-Cola 600 isn't Watkins Glen. It's not a flowing road course where SVG can use his supercar's background to dominate. Charlotte is a 1.5-mile intermediate oval, the exact format that had defined his limitations in NASCAR. Long green flag, runs that punish tire management errors. A race where reading the track surface, moving through different lanes, and managing dirty air over 600 brutal miles separates contenders from survivors. This was supposed to be the race that finally confirmed what the critics had been saying all along. The narrative against SVG had been building for 2 seasons. Analysts pointed to specific technical failures. He couldn't manage tire degradation over extended green flag runs, he couldn't find multiple lanes on the racetrack, and his supercar's background gave him 0 oval preparation. Kyle Petty put it plainly, he has just gotten comfortable running one place on the racetrack. That wasn't a cheap shot, it was a technical observation backed by race data. SVG himself never publicly disputed the gap, he just kept working. And while the critics were writing the same story on repeat, SVG was quietly dismantling it lap by lap. We're closing in on 500 subscribers at NASCAR Racing Central. If this kind of deep dive NASCAR breakdown is what you're here for, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with every NASCAR fan you know. Every single subscriber helps this channel grow. The first real crack in the critics' argument appeared at Atlanta 2026, P6, his best oval finish in his Cup Series career at that point. He fought through multiple near disasters and came out the other side with a top 10.
Imagine
then, at
you're
Daytona
sitting in the Charlotte Motor Speedway
he was
grandstands.
running near the front
it's late.
before
The
crash
track
involvement. His confidence in the draft was visibly different. Meanwhile, his road course dominance stayed completely intact. He won at Watkins Glen by 7.288 seconds, erasing a 29-second deficit to take the victory. 6 wins in the 7 road course races entering Charlotte. He wasn't sacrificing what made him elite. He was building on top of it. The critics kept moving the goalposts, and SVG kept quietly clearing them. Now here's the detail that changes the entire Charlotte story before a single lap was even run. Qualifying was rained out. The grid was set by NASCAR's owner points metric. Because SVG had just won at Watkins Glen, he started P3 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The oval track that was supposed to expose him handed him a front row seat instead. Early in the race, he dropped back to 5th, but he didn't panic. He settled into the car, found his rhythm. Through stage 1, he ran inside the top 10 all stage and finished 10th, banking stage points. Stage 2, he was running as high as 7th, finishing 9th. Denny Hamlin was dominating, but SVG was right there in the mix, not surviving, not hanging on, competing. Then stage 3 arrived. On the restart, SVG surged from 10th to 5th in a handful of corners, attacking Ty Gibbs and Chase Briscoe, established NASCAR veterans with years of oval experience. He finished stage 3 in 7th. And right there, on live television, Kyle Petty, the same analyst who had described SVG's limitations, delivered a completely different verdict. He moved around. He ran the middle, he ran the top, he worked traffic good. That's what he's done in the past. The critic became the believer mid-race, on air, with nowhere to hide. Then came the final stage. Strategy played out. SVG and Ty Gibbs stayed out while the field pitted. Shane Van Gisbergen lined up on the front row of the Coca-Cola 600. He then passed Ty Gibbs into turn 1 and took the lead of the Coca-Cola 600. He held it for 11 laps, the most laps he had ever led on an oval in his NASCAR career. Christopher Bell closed hard. Hamlin closed. Reddick closed. SVG held them off, not through strategy, not through timing, through raw speed. As @Jeff Gluck posted, SVG leading laps at Charlotte and battling Bell Hamlin on raw pace was absolutely not on my 2026 bingo card. Then the race turned cruel. A lightning caution with 45 laps remaining caught SVG running P5. A slow pit stop dropped him back. He made a two-tire call, and then the choose SVG took the outside line, a misread on the call from his spotter Josh. He dropped to 12th. More weather cautions followed. The race was called. Daniel Suarez won. SVG was classified P11, his own words after the race. Filthy with myself for the end. Just a bad dodge choose and should be top 5 or 6. The scoreboard said 11th. His average running position all night was 7.81. As @Bob Pockrass wrote, Shane Van Gisbergen may have finished 11th, but anyone who watched that race knows he ran much better than the result shows, and front stretch confirmed. The final result does not tell the full story. The expert reaction after the race wasn't polite praise, it was genuine recalibration. Kyle Petty on NASCAR Inside the Race said, "He looked like Larson, he looked like Denny." Read that again. The man who described SVG's single-lane limitation just compared him to Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin on an intermediate oval. Steve Letarte, a former crew chief who has built championship race cars, said, "I no longer think his pathway to the chase is a couple of road course races. I now think, what ovals hasn't he got figured out?" Jamie McMurray compared SVG directly to Ross Chastain, who won this very race the previous year, and stated, "Shane has just outperformed those guys." The social media reaction landed in the same direction. @Kyle Petty posted, "That's not a road course specialist anymore." @DaleJR wrote, "People kept asking if SVG could learn ovals. Well, I think we're getting the answer now." And @Denny Hamlin himself posted, "SVG is getting scary. Once he fully figures out intermediate tracks, everybody's gonna have problems." This performance wasn't just about reputation. SVG entered Charlotte 16th in the standings, sitting directly on the chase bubble. He finished 14th in points, jumped 2 spots, and moved to 28 points above the cut line. With only 4 road courses left on the calendar, oval improvement isn't a luxury, it's a mathematical requirement for his playoff survival. Nashville is next, a track where he finished 25th in 2025. Pocono and Michigan still loom. As McMurray acknowledged, "There's going to be a Pocono or somewhere that's unique where he's struggled, but that's okay. One great race doesn't erase 2 years of questions on its own. Nashville, Michigan, and Pocono don't care about Charlotte." But here's what changed. SVG entered Charlotte with the label of road course specialist who survives ovals. He left it having led the Coca-Cola 600, matched the pace of Bell, Hamlin, and Reddick, and earned a 7.8 average running position over 600 miles on an intermediate oval. The numbers from 1 year ago and the numbers from Sunday night belong to 2 different drivers. So here's the question. Drop it in the comments right now. Is Shane Van Gisbergen officially a complete NASCAR driver after Charlotte? Or do Nashville, Michigan, and Pocono still get the final vote? Every comment, every share gets this breakdown in front of more NASCAR fans who need to see it. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Subscribe to NASCAR Racing Central and don't miss the Nashville reaction, because those tracks are coming up fast and SVG's answer is only just beginning.